So now let's add some WebDriver code over here. As in, if you remember, we talked about Cucumber hooks. So very first thing we need to create is we need to create a setup method which should be responsible for the launch of browser, and a tear down method which should be responsible for the quitting of browser, right? And this should be at the rate before, and this should be at the rate after, which we need to import from Cucumber API Java, right? So these are our hooks, and what we're going to write over here, we'll first call the WebDriver as the public static WebDriver driver over here. I'll import this WebDriver, and then I'll say driver equal to new Firefox driver. So we are going to start with Firefox driver at the moment, right? Later on we're gonna see different browsers as well. And then over here I'll say driver dot quit, right? And then uh, because in the step definition you can see we have not given that given we are launching a Firefox browser. We are directly saying that given I am on the home page, I am actually navigating to the home page. So I just need to write over here, that is driver dot get, and the website URL, that is http www.carsguide.com.au, right? So if you want to test this, the very first step, you can right click on your run queue and see if the browser launches and if it navigates to the website, and then it should quit. So let us run this. See, very first, before executing any step, before is executed, before hook is executed, it's navigated to the website, the very first given step executed, and then let us see when the page uh, finish up loading, then it will gonna quit the browser. Probably the page is a bit bulky because a lot of things are being loaded. And see it quit the browser. So all the steps are executed over here, right? One scenario, 10 steps, and all of them got successfully executed. And similarly, we're gonna handle all these things as well in the step definition. So the next step is for moving to the sales menu. Now, in order to do a mouse over onto this menu, as in if I again go over here, I need to do a mouse over on cars for sale menu, right? So we'll first inspect this element, and I got this XPath, right? I'm gonna take this XPath, and we're going to call the actions class. Now actions is the one that is responsible for handling user gestures, complex user gestures. So mouse movement is one of the user gestures, so I'm going to create an object of new actions, right? If I import actions, action will gonna accept your driver reference, so I need to give driver over here, that is like this, and I'll say dot uh, action will be move to element. Right now I need to give my web element, so probably I'll create a web element over here, web element, that is menu equal to, I'll say driver dot find element by dot xpath this, right? I'll import the web element and give menu over here and say dot perform. So dot perform will gonna perform the action. Now once the action is performed, we need to click on search cars. So I'm gonna inspect search cars from here, and this is the XPath for search cars, and we'll say driver dot find element by dot XPath this dot click. Right, so what we are doing, we are actually mapping this code to our steps. Right, these steps are written in the feature file. These are basically mapped over here. We are still getting some errors over here. Let us give some space and say Control S. So all the errors are good. And let us say pretty format. So this will be in a proper format. Right. So now let us run this once more and see if it mouse over onto car search and click on that particular menu option or not. So it's navigating to cars guide, and now let us see if it mouse overs onto cars for sale or not. Still taking a bit time to load. And yes, it did mouse over and clicked onto that thing, right? So whatever steps that we have written so far, they got executed successfully. And now let us finish up writing our other steps. Now let us select the make of the car. So make of the car, after we click on search cars, text over here, and we'll select the make of the car. We'll inspect the very first element. Okay, this is a select box, so we can directly call the select class, right? So I'm gonna say new select and give the web element. I can directly even give it over here. Find element by dot XPath this, right? I'll import select and say dot select by uh, visible text, right? So text, I can take it from this argument, right? So I'll name this to let's say make, right? And I'll send this make over here, right? This will be picked from your feature file. Same thing we're gonna do for uh, the model as well. So I'll say model, and same thing we need to do for location and the price, right? So I'll give this thing as location, and then the price, right? So I need to change their locators, right? So for model, the locator is this. See, I'm creating a very simple test at this moment, but we're actually going to see the good ones as well. This, and the location is this. And then the price is this, right? And then it should click on the next find my next car button. So I'm just gonna copy this and say driver dot find element by dot XPath this dot click, Right. So let us run up till over here. We have still two steps pending, but before that I want to check whether it selects BMW as a car 1 series as the model, Australia as a location, and $10,000 as a price. So let us run this and let us see how it works. Alright, so let's just wait for a few seconds for the page to load. And yes, now let us see. It should select, okay, we encountered some error over here. Now, why this error is there? It says unable to locate this selector, the make. So what happens over here? Basically, this application is an AngularJS application, right? And when we are working with WebDriver actually has a very tough time to handle some Angular elements, right? So how we come to know that this is an Angular application or not? So if you just go to this website, let's say on Chrome, and if you let's say inspect any element, you'll get this console window over here. Just press Ctrl L and type Angular. Press enter. If you get these objects, it means that this is an Angular application. You're not gonna get this thing with a non-Angular application. Let's say if I go to Google, if I do inspect over here, let us see if Google is Angular or not. I'll say Angular. It will give me Angular is not defined. So this is basically an AngularJS application, and there are lots and lots of synchronization issues in an AngularJS application. But it doesn't mean that we'll not be able to handle this element. We will be able to handle this element, but we need some strategies in order to make it work, right? So what we need to do, let us take a look.